the ministers were appointed and they started going on familiarization tours. We've been to Lagos. We'll also be able to get to the wagon assembly plant at Papa Port. And luckily, on this visit, we did a median, to do a median movement of container movement from port to Monia, and we have done 3 so far. And at the same time, that same week we went to Kano Maradi inspection, the University of Transportation, and also Kano Kaduna. And we're able to see how far they've gone. We've been to Port Harcourt and also inspected the construction, that is the reconstruction that is going on the Port Harcourt Maiduguri line. They've started laying track, but he was not happy because the speed of construction was not fast enough because they were doing manual laying. And ever since, we have been working with the CCCC to see how they can get some of our locomotives and wagons so that they can move faster materials. We've entered an MOU to give them local wagons. And at the same time, we are seeing how we can fast track the e-ticketing for the Takwe Warrior and Abuja Kaduna. The last administration approved the concession of the e-ticketing to 2 separate companies. And they believe that they will require competition so that at the end we get the best out of it. So those 2 companies, the minister called for a meeting, and the meeting was chaired by the PAMSEC. And eventually we met with the 3, the one that is already providing service for Abuja Kaduna, the one who has the concession for Takwe Warrior, and the other company for Lagos Ibadan. And they promised that they go live on the 26th of this month. And they are on ground, and our technical team are also working with them. And we are seeing how they can get the handshake with NIPS so that we can verify passengers. So we hope all things being equal, we'll be able to deploy it to customers, not while we are doing some trials, creating those simulating situation we think can happen with our customer to see how strong it is. So when we are satisfied and ensure that the money that is coming is going to the appropriate station, and the antivirus and are put in place, the kiosks are put in place, so we'll leave it to the public, which we are hoping by 26th we will be able to do that. So that we also be given a marching order to ensure we start moving not only passenger but freight to Kano. So a team of my engineers are working on how to rectify those areas that have been vandalized throughout that time we were not operating due to security and battery issues. So we hope by end of November we should be able to once again get back to Kano on train. We also have an MOU with Plateau. They want to run Plateau terminals to Hong. We are trying to see within the week how we can move the rolling stock to Plateau, maintain them, and the track people also ensure that they put the track in place and should be safe for passengers' use. And we have asked them to also update and upgrade the various stations, the terminals, the hub stations, and control at the level crossings. I think they are serious, and I think we hope in the next 2 to 3 weeks we will see the light of the day on that. At the same time, we are discussing with Kaduna. We have said we form a joint technical team. We have sent our name to them. We are waiting for their own to also, so that they can work and find out what they can do to revive the Kaduna train service. I think that is the right way to go, because we already have in place track access framework that any state who want to operate on the national rail can key onto. So they can bring rolling stock. But those ones we are doing now is that they are still tapping from our rolling stock. We know eventually they will be strong enough to get their rolling stock for their people and use the track. That is the way we see how to prevent vandalization, is to ensure that the track are constantly in use. What we have is, we have construction of a modernized track. Kano to Kaduna will link Abuja to Kaduna, which means when that is done, people cannot travel from Abuja to Kaduna. Also, we have ongoing Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, which is upgrading the narrow gauge to 80 kilometers per hour speed, and removing the gradient and reducing the gradient, reducing the slope, so we can have, and increasing the poundage, and by so doing, you increase the freight, the weight or the tonnage that the train can carry. So while our normal maintenance is in-house, we are doing them where we have, for instance, the Lagos Kano, we are trying between Mokwa, Mina, and Kaduna, where we had that insecurity. But what we discovered that by the time the security has advised us to come back, we went on inspection and discovered that some of those tracks, because at that time, the staffs at the various stations were asked to vacate because it wasn't safe for them. So they vandalized even the stations and the track. So we try to do that in-house. Normal maintenance, we have a schedule for maintaining our track and ensuring that the track is safe for use.
Yeah, talking about security, because I think you are quite rightly diving into some of the things I want to talk about. So talking about security, because we are all still, it's still very much fresh in my memory here, with academic incidents and all that. Can you tell us which of these stations, which of these routes are safe for use right now, and what you're doing to maintain and ensure efficient security? Because we never can tell that security doesn't, these bandits or these people do not give us information, anything just happened. What are the security models you've put in place to ensure that the train is safe for passengers?
You know, as for security for train operation, as I tell people, we have a standard for train operation all over the world that we have keyed in. We are UIC compliant. And every other thing we are doing is an additional safety, not because it's needed for railway. It's just because of the situation we find ourselves. If you listen, on Saturday, what they call them, went to Israel, bandits, and it can happen at any time. But we have tried to have something that is within our control. But the security, we are not trained to provide that level of security, but we are working with the security architect that we have in the country, the military, the police, and so on. I remember even when we started meeting with the soldiers, they said the internal securities for the police, they can only support them when they call on them. So we work with the DSS, we work with the police, we work with road safety. Unfortunately enough, we have a full command. We have a commissioner, and we have various deputy commissioners, area command. The same, we have a commandant for the civil defense. So we have some DSS also posted. So we are working with them, and we are also saying we are open for the security architect that is being built for the nation to also cover. You see, no matter how safe the railway is, people still have to travel to the train station. So if the country is not well protected, people cannot even get to the train station. So that is the angle I make my case. So, but however, we still have some security put in place to give the comfort to our teaming passengers and customers that use our train. We have ensured that personnel of the security personnel in Nigeria are embedded in our system, whether passenger or goods train, and we also have them at the station, where we have deployed a little of technology for us to manage and monitor real time the location of our trains. We also try to provide CCTV in our stations and ensure what happens, like the last news. Apart from that lady, we have been seeing some of our staff and we are punishing them based on the CCTV we either have on the train or at the stations. Because I don't know, maybe the staff forget that, but most times we don't tell them how we know what they are doing. But we just bring them and start to question them. So we are deploying technology, and we are still hoping that we have enough resources to deploy. Technology is not stagnant, it's dynamic, it changes every day. So we're able to meet up with the rapid growth of technology.
All right. That's, of course, it seems you're always one step ahead of me in the question. So the viral video, of course, we've addressed that over and over again about how some staff have been involved in. But beyond all of that, there's been several complaints from the Moniya station, especially, that a lot of staff are involved in sharp practices.
Yeah.
You visited Ibadan on Saturday, and I'm sure you must have made your discovery. You must have had some internal meetings that you know already. What are you doing to ensure that we do not have, because we have it on good authority that this is not the first time. That one was just maybe that a lot of staff are involved in sharp practices in Ibadan, especially.
Yeah.
What have you been able to do from your end and to ensure that because passengers, of course, you've talked about e-ticketing and all that. Tell us more about that.
You see, as I say, it takes two to tango. Unfortunately, that some of them fall in a scapegoat. I don't want to say it's a Nigerian problem, but we know it's a Nigerian problem. And you see, what the employed staff to ensure that nobody gets into the train without relevant documents, and they allow them to get in and take advantage of those passengers. Also, the passengers, we have been making announcement upon announcement, ensure you have your tickets before you board the train. And they will not buy tickets. They will board the train. They also contribute to the so-called corruption that happened on our train system. So I, as an MD, I go to Ibadan by train. I ensure I get my ticket, at least to lead by example. I buy my police security, I also buy tickets for them. And we tell our staff, you have advantage of getting what we call privileged tickets. The only thing you can do for incentive you can give to staff is to get a ticket at a reduced rate. So if you want to travel, apply. So it will be approved and you will be given some rebate as a staff. It's up to your family. And they should key into that. But we have a situation where the soldiers or police come to the train station and want to travel and said, this is right. You know what we experience in the buses. It's staff. We also see it. And I'm not trying to give excuses for our boys. But I'm also using this medium to beg our customers to ensure they obtain their tickets. Because if you buy your ticket, nobody can ask you to come and bribe him. So you have people who don't want to buy tickets, who want to get it at a cheaper rate. That's where this problem is. But I believe with the e-ticketing, that rush at the station, that because we are all buying tickets at the stations, will reduce. You can now buy your ticket at the comfort of your home, and you get to the station, and if you have people converse that we can give you cheap ticket, you already have your tickets, so they will not have people to converse. But we don't take such indiscipline lightly. But the only way to reduce it to ensure you apply the maximum punishment to such fraudulent practices, so that people, at least if they don't want to learn from it, they will be scared of it, except those who want to lose their job, intentionally want to lose their job. You know, you can want to lose your job, but you don't know how to walk away. So that's what I would say. We seriously beg the public, on no account should enter the train. It's unfortunate that when you enter the train, we don't see you, because the same punishment that's been meted out for the staff, like playing games with our service, is to be meted out to that person who got the ticket under the table. So they should know, if there are no willing seller, you will not have a willing buyer. So we will punish our staff because we take us time to train them. I know the last set of people we employed, I spoke to them, and I told them about my experience and the experience that can make you. What I know that this money we pursue is never enough. No matter the volume you have, we cannot say I've gotten enough. So it's you that will tell yourself, I'm okay. And you see, you have one house, you want to buy and build another one. I'm saying from my experience. So you can only be comfortable when you tell yourself, I've taken bread today is better than taking a full chicken. And your spirit will be quite happy to have that. If you've taken gari without meat. When we were at school, we used to take eba without, as I would call it. And we were happy. We'll be playing. So who knows who ate eba without and who ate a whole chicken? Nobody. When you wear your clothes, everybody goes out. So money is never enough. That's what I'm preaching to my staff. What is enough is you're able to sleep without fear. That because I've not committed any offense, so you come to work, go happily to your work. As for what to eat, you must have something to eat. I've never had somebody die because he hasn't got something to eat. So,
yeah, this e-ticketing, when do we expect it to really fully begin, and when can passengers start expecting that it will be fully operational?
no, we hope by 26, I said to go live. By that, it can be accessible by the public, except something happen. And if something happen, we'll come out and let people know.
Right. On the final note, there's an assessment of what's your assessment of the patronage has been, and what do you think there's a room for improvement? Because I remember the last time we were to that session, terminal was empty.
You see, after the banditry attack, the thing went so bad. And on our return, the diesel went haywire because of diesel. And being that we are providing service and we have a lot of competition in this market, transportation market, you have the small cars, you have the big buses, you have the small buses, you have tricycle, you have Okada, all those are our competitors. So we have to work that operational cost, that we don't price ourselves out of relevance, because government's major aim of building is to make people have the comfort to grow commerce and industry benefit from having an easy way of moving goods. See, what people don't know is that if the purchasing power is low and the product is that high, people cannot purchase. So, and the industry will not produce. So if you can move them to the marketplace at a cheaper cost and the patronage is high, the industry will produce, employment will be generated. So I think that is why you see countries that have developed have very good and functional rail, because their product get to the marketplace at a reasonable cost. Not that when you have tomatoes, the cost of moving it is times 10 of that tomato is there. So you can only have, if instead of buying a basket, I will buy just 10 pieces, and the best is farming. We will not be encouraged to do more farming. So after that banditry, the thing went down, but right now it's going up. We would have deployed more service, but the cost of diesel is scaring us. Because you have what we call off peak and the peak period. But we're supposed to be talking about peak or not peak. We should be running train service or special passengers are provided based on schedule and time. So every 30 minutes, every 1 hour there should be train service. And because of also the double handling, we have find ourselves, because our rail track doesn't get to the doorstep of the industry or the marketplace, you find our people not used to the idea, not knowing the comfort, the peace you will have by using the train. But thank God, DHL is patronizing us now. British American Tobacco is also, because they know how seamless it is to move by train. So, and a lot of people there are a lot of inquiry coming up now that we've started moving. We think it's going up. On the passenger side, we will see how we can increase the frequency. We have the local, we have the coaches. The same coaches that go in the morning can as well go back in the afternoon. But we don't want to too much put pressure on government to give us free diesel. So we are trying to do some economy and business to ensure that we are able to at least fuel the locomotive from what we earn.